Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Janice. I live and work in Manitoba, Canada. I work at a Canadian grocery store chain called Sobeys, and I do some of my shopping there for the Scene Plus points offers. Sobeys and Safeway are Scene Plus sponsors, meaning you can earn and redeem Scene Plus points in store. Plus I have a small staff discount, and I do most of the rest of my shopping at Real Canadian Superstore. This first clip you're going to see is going to be Superstore items. Today is Saturday, April 25th, and I bought these items last night after work. So in this grocery haul, there's going to be some necessities like produce, and there's definitely going to be some junk food stuff too. So if you're one that wants to be judgy about the fact that there's going to be junk food in this haul, you might want to just move along, because you know, it just is what it is. Sometimes you're shopping hungry, and sometimes you just have the munchies and you want some snack foods in the house. Please excuse my conures. My parrots are in the next room, and it's 11 o'clock in the morning, and they hear me, and they think, oh, it's feeding time at the zoo kind of thing. So they're trying to get my attention. So I'm going to try and get through this quickly enough that you don't have to listen to all the background noise for too long. So here's what I got at Superstore. My family informed me that we were on our last 2 rolls of toilet paper, so I figured I better grab some. This 24 double roll was $13.99 at Superstore. And the ice cream bars, I had a points offer on these if you spent $10 or more on ice cream. So I grabbed this. This was $11. Actually, that's gone up in price because that for the longest time was just $10. That must be a recent price increase. Some mandarin oranges. These were $7. We have basically no potatoes in the house right now, but rather than buy like a really large bag of 5 or 10 pound bag of red potatoes last night, for now I just saw these, and these are 1.5 pound bags each, these little mini potatoes. They were $4 each, so I grabbed a bag of the ruby red and the golden. I will at some point buy a 5 pound or 10 pound bag of red potatoes again, but last night that wasn't really on my list. It wasn't something even though we don't really have any in the house right now, it just wasn't something that I felt was necessary to grab in the moment. But I did see those. These were on display right at the front of the produce section, and it was a decent price. So I said, okay, let's grab these. We use these mini potatoes all the time. Gala apples, this 5 pound bag was $9.99. I can't remember how much per pound bananas are. I want to say 89 cents, with 79 or 89 cents, which is just crazy to me, but it's been that way for quite a while. Grabbed some of those. The bananas were $2.56 for that bunch, and then I grabbed a large bag of red grapes. I think these were on for $2.49 a pound, I believe, so that got a nice full bag. They all look pretty good, and none look squishy that I can see anyway. Obviously I didn't go through the entire bag, but certainly on the bottom and the sides they all look fine. So that bag was $9.22. I had an points offer on peas, so I grabbed this bag of sugar snap peas. I like to take these in my lunches for work. It's a 680 gram, I believe, bag. Kind of straighten that out. Yeah, 680 gram bag, and that I believe is $8.99. Yes, that's right. And then I am out of my white bread that I like to buy. Sometimes the store brand, the no-name brand of white bread, or no-name brand of bread, rather, was on my points offers, but it is not this week. But because I am pretty much out, I just grabbed 1 loaf for now. That was $2.50, and then 2 packages of sandwich meat. This is kind of my go-to. This small package here is $3.75, and then the sub trio back here is $7. So that is what I picked up at Superstore. I earned that continuity offer, that 1,000 points. That is for the ice cream, and the bananas I earned 200 points, and then apparently I had an offer of, if you spend, was it $8 or $10? I can't remember what it was, but in the produce department, as far as like fresh vegetables, I think it was $8 on vegetables, which would make sense because this is $8.99. So I earned 3,000 points just for that, and then I earned 900 points on the peas, again, because of the points offer on peas. So after tax, I spent $87, and that left me with a closing balance of 105,065 PC Optimum points, or $105 in PC Optimum points. But as I've said before, you can only redeem in increments of $10, so technically I have $100 of PC Optimum points right now. Now, after that, I stopped at the gas bar before I left Sobeys, or Superstore rather, and I put $20 of gas in, and you earn points there as well. I earned 385 points, and that bumped my total up to 105,450 PC Optimum points. So that is where I sit right now. And I did also grab a few things at Sobeys, and I will try and film those for you next. Okay, these are items that I picked up last night at Sobeys. I actually did this first before going over to Superstore. And yes, all of this is nothing but junk food. I know that. These are snack foods. The Pizza Pops, I had a points offer on them, as did the chips. And the Pizza Pops are just a handy thing to throw in my work lunch or to eat after, you know, whenever, like just for a quick snack. Basically, throw one or two of those in the microwave and it's good to go. And like I said before in previous videos, I like to take chips, like even just in a Ziploc baggie, rather than buy like the treat size or smaller size bags, or like the packages of the smaller size bags to take to work. I feel like it's cheaper to just buy a couple of these larger bags and put some in my lunch kit or a Ziploc baggie to take to work for lunch. Or if we have if my daughter has one of her friends over from work or something like that, just to snack on, or just to snack on myself, or ourselves while watching TV. So I know, junk food, I know it's not healthy, and some of you might be like, that's a waste of money or whatever, but just, we all have our vices, and, like there's ice cream sandwiches in the first part of the video because there was points on them. These have points on them. We all have vices. It just is what it is. So anyway, but the primary reason I did this was because my daughter bought some for herself the night before, and she said, Mom, I got like all these points. So that was cool. So I did the same thing or similar last night. I did have to get a points adjustment because they were supposed to be on these chips. It was a combined thing where Cheetos or Doritos, and I think even some bags of Lay's chips as well, had this points offer on. It was 300 points for every 2 bags. And I got that points off. I got the 300 points once, but because I bought 4, I should have gotten it twice. So I had one of the gals at customer service fix that up, and she credited me the other 300 points, which you'll see on my receipt in a minute here. She wrote it on there. And now that it's the next morning, I've checked my Scene app and the points are there. So the Doritos were $5.79. The Cheetos were all $4.50 each, and it was 300 points for every 2 bags. And then down here, the Pizza Pops were $6.99 for the 8 count, and 100 points if you bought 2. Now, I did see online in the Superstore flyer, I think the Pizza Pops, I think they're $5.97, so technically cheaper. Now, granted, I do have my 10% off, so 70 cents came off of each of these, which would make them like $6.29. So Superstore would still be a little bit cheaper, but I didn't really realize that after this I was going to Superstore. Plus, I do have the points offer here, whereas at Superstore there was no points involved. So I'll show you here. You can see the 300 points. If it'll ever focus, you'll see that. Hang on. There, the 300 points, and there she wrote up here 300 points given for the other 2 because she did that adjustment, and then the 100 points on the Pizza Pops. So after tax, I am out of pocket $32.28. Now there it shows that I earned 400 points because the 300 that I was given and the 100, but it doesn't show the other 300 there. She had to add those later, so actually I earned 700 points, and now that it's Saturday morning, those points have all hit my Scene account. So now I went into this with 13,199 Scene Plus points. Now I'm at 13,899. So I'm still at the 130 mark of Scene Plus points, but I'm only 110 points away from $140. Now, had I been thinking before I did this, I made a mistake last night. In one of my previous videos, I had a couple of offers on my Sobeys app where if you spent $35, you would get 525 points. And that was in one of my previous videos. I did that 2 or 3 times. I think it was a thing you could use up to 4 times, and I did it 3 times. I have that same offer again, but I didn't take the time last night to check my offers. Had I done that, I could have gotten another 525 points because I spent just over 32. And there is a package of paper towels on sale, I think for $6.99. And had I realized that, I could have just added that to the list or to my purchase, and I would have been closer to like $38, $39. I would have earned 525 points. So I goofed on that one just because I was in a rush, finished work, wanted to grab these things quickly, get home, put the Pizza Pops in the freezer, and then my husband and I were going to go out for a drive. And so I wanted to get home because I finished at 7:30, and we were trying to get to it for a drive to be able to catch the sunset before it went down so I could maybe take some pictures. So I was kind of rushing. Had I taken the extra 30 seconds to check my Scene app, and I would have seen that offer, so to speak, no pun intended there, and it would have gotten some extra points. But we'll see. Maybe this week I'll buy, maybe go in and buy a couple things of the of the paper towels, or who knows. I don't know. I could say I'll buy some more pizza pops, but then that's more junk food, right? So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll just let it go. I do need to get the paper towels, but I may just buy them on their own. You don't need to go in and spend $35 just for the absolute sake of it. If there's other things that are, you know, if I find some good deals in the meat department or whatever, and I can bump it up to 35, then great. But for now, this is what I've got. So we'll see. Just stay tuned. I don't know how much else will be on this video. This may just be part 1 and 2 of a longer grocery haul, or a longer drawn out grocery haul video, because I just don't know what I'll be buying the rest of this week. I don't get paid again for another 12 days. So we'll see. Maybe I'll just leave it be and pick up then at that time on that payday and show you what I pick up then. So just stay tuned and you'll see whatever happens to come next. So today is now Sunday, April 26th, and I made a couple of stops today. I went to Real Canadian Superstore and grabbed just a couple of things, and then over to Shoppers Drug Mart, where I got my 2 packs of Diet Coke over there on the right on a 2-day sale. So I'll show you what I picked up at Superstore. None of these had points offers on them. Certainly not the milk. You can't earn or redeem points on dairy in Superstore. You can on dairy, but I should say, but not on milk. Like cheese, if there was an offer on that, that would be fine. You could earn points on that, but you can't earn or redeem on milk at Superstore. So I grabbed a jug of 1% milk that was $5.94 for the 4 liters. And then we were getting low on eggs. My husband made some scrambled eggs this weekend for the 3 of us, and I think he used the better part of a dozen in that batch. And he said, you know, there's only like 3 eggs left, so if I want to do any baking or any cooking that involve eggs, I'm going to need to get some. So I grabbed a flat of 30 eggs for $10.25, and then the Armstrong cheese blocks were on sale, the limit of 1, $7.98, so I grabbed 1 block of marble. And then the pistachio pudding mixes are on sale for $1. Also a limit of 1. I really wish it wasn't a limit of 1. I wish it was been a limit of 2 or 3 or 4. Only because I do have a side dish, kind of a dessert type side dish that I make that is requires pistachio pudding mix, and it takes 3 pudding mixes per batch. And I have 1 in the cupboard currently, and now 1 more. So I still need another one. I probably could have just bought another one separately on a separate transaction, but whatever. It wasn't a really big issue. We're not planning on having company anytime soon, which is usually when I serve that. So it's not an urgent thing right now. So this is what I spent, $25.17. There was no points earned on this, so I'm still sitting at the 105,450 points marks of PC Optimum points. So $105, or basically $100, because you can only redeem in the increments of $10. So, and let me switch over to my shopper's receipt. Now, because at Superstore you do not get base points. It is only the points on things on your offers, so I earn no points there. But at Shoppers you do get base points on anything you buy. You can also buy the things there that are on your points offers, but you do get base points at Shoppers. So I did get some points for this. This was a 2-day sale, just Saturday, Sunday only. They do this almost every weekend. You can see there's 1 drink missing out of the corner, the back there, because I was out of my pop at home, so I grabbed one once I got home and started in on it because I was needing my caffeine fix, or wanting my caffeine fix. But anyway, they do this every weekend, or almost every weekend, where the 6-packs are on sale for 2 days only. Pepsi products were on sale too, but actually they were on for more. The Coke products were on for $3.99, and the Pepsi products were $4.19. So you have to pay attention to that. They're on sale for a 4-day weekend too. But if you're a diehard Pepsi drinker, you're going to pay just a little bit more. Still a sale price, but it is a bit more than the Coke products. Me, I could drink Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi, no problem. Doesn't really matter. Whatever's available, whatever's cheapest. So they're on for $3.99. Limit of 4. I just grabbed 2. So I paid $9.21. And I earned 105 points. Not a lot, but it's something. So now I'm up to 105,555 points as of today for PC Optimum. So that is where I sit as of today, Sunday, April 26th. Alrighty, it is time to wrap this grocery haul video up. Today is now Wednesday, April 29th. Forgive the lighting in here. It is 8:43 in the evening, so the days are getting longer and the sun is going down later, but it is going down. I finished work at 7:30 tonight, and then I grabbed a few things at Sobeys at my work after I was done my shift, And I was looking in the meat department specifically for any kind of markdowns, like some stickered items as well. There's a couple things in the flyer that I wanted to get. These sponge towels, paper towels, our flyers run Thursday to Wednesday every week, and it is Wednesday night, so today is the last night of the sale. These are on for $6.49. These 3 double rolls, not probably the world's greatest price, but we are down to our last roll of paper towels, so I needed to grab some. So I've grabbed one of those, and then I headed into the meat department to look for sales. I forget how much these pork steaks were on for per pound, but they were a special, I want to say $2.99 a pound, something like that. Give or take, I forget. I did take note of the sign, but I've forgotten. I mean, my brain is done after working all day. So I grabbed these 2 packages. These are pork steaks. Sometimes I'll put them in the fridge in a marinade and then cook them in the oven. Or perhaps, now that it's finally spring here, maybe I can get my husband to fire up the barbecue and cook them there. This package of 2 were $6.70. And this package was $6.53. And again, that's before my staff discount. But then, further on into the meat department, I found a bunch of markdowns. These were stickered items. These were marked down, and I'll either put them in the fridge and cook a bunch of them up tomorrow, or freeze them and we'll cook them on a different day. I'm not sure which. I'll show my husband what I picked up tonight and decide whether we're going to do the pork steaks tomorrow. It's too late to do anything now at this hour tonight, or whether we should do some of these tomorrow. But either way, these look really good. They smell good. And some of these will be right up his alley as far as flavoring. These chicken wings that are maple chipotle flavor, regular $5.71 with $2 off. These other, also maple chipotle wings, $5.78 with $2 off. Chicken wings, again, maple chipotle, $2 off, $5.81. And then over here, we have chicken drumsticks, honey garlic, $5.04 with $2 off, $5.52 with $2 off, and $5.38 with $2 off. And then finally, some wings that are honey sriracha that are $5.53, $2 off. And then right here, some navel oranges. I believe this is a 3-pound. That's a 3-pound bag on sale till tonight for $3.99. So basically $1.33 a pound. And again, all these prices are before my staff discount. So all these things $3.99. Take 40 cents off of that. All these $5 and something for the meat with $2 off each package. Take an additional 10% off of all of those. So pretty good. And then lawn and leaf bags, or leaf and lawn bags. 2 packs. If I bought 2 5-packs, then there were Scene Plus points on them. So I grabbed 2 packs of those. These were, oh my goodness, how much were they? I want to say they were $5.79 each. Probably you could get them cheaper somewhere else, but because of the Scene Plus points, and again, even though it's $5.79, take about 58 cents off because of my 10% discount. So take 58 cents off per bag, per bundle. That's not bad. And then 250 points for having bought 2 packages. So not bad. So here's how it all shook out. Here's the 250 points on the leaf bags. And then I got 5 points in the meat department. And then I had another one of those offers to spend $35, get 525 points. And I did meet that. So I managed to get the extra 525 points. Plus I earned 5 in the meat department, like I said. And the 250 up here. So I'm pleased with that. There's 250, another 5, and then the 525. So all told, I earned 780 points because the 525 plus the 250 plus the 5, that's 780 points. So I spent a grand total after my staff discount, which was $601. I spent $56 out of pocket. So going into this, I had 13,899 Scene Plus points, and I earned 780 tonight. That will hit my account in 1 to 2 business days. I can't do the math off the top of my head. All I know is we're looking at, by the time you do 780 plus the 899, I'll be well over the $140 mark of Scene Plus points. And actually, I'll probably be between $140 and $150. I'm not doing the math completely off the top of my head right now, but you know, you can do, if you have a calculator right there, or you're good at quick mental math right off the top of your head, you can see that the 13,899 plus 780, that will have me between 14,000 and 15,000. So I'll be over the over the $140 mark of Scene Plus points and well on my way to $150. So I'm pretty pleased with that. And then my staff discount runs Monday to Sunday every week. And it's I have 10% off my first $150 spent in the week. It's Wednesday night, and as of right now, I have $76.93 remaining for the week. But I don't imagine I'll be buying much more because I don't get paid for 8 more days till next Thursday. So that is what I picked up at Sobeys tonight. I'm going to show you what I picked up at Petland the other day, and that's not grocery, but it's food for our pets, and it's just something else that I picked up. So I'm going to show you that quickly, and then I'll wrap this grocery haul video up once and for all. Okay, so once again, please forgive the lighting. It is almost 9 o'clock in here, but I want to show you what I picked up. This is not obviously grocery budget because this is pet food, not human food, but whatever. It's still, I did a big stock up on pet stuff a couple months ago when we had 3 paycheck month, and I bought a few things here and there since, but we've been kind of maintaining for a while because I did quite a substantial stock up at that time. But I noticed that our rabbit, Floyd, he was pretty low on his food, and we usually buy that in bulk, which is the taller of the 2 bags there. And this was bought on Monday, April 27th at Petland, and we had just taken him to the vet that day because he had a gunky eye, and it looks like he has an eye infection, so he's on eye drops, but the vet also said he was a little underweight. So we wanted to make sure that we really get more of his pellets into him, as much as he'll eat anyway, and beef him up a little bit. So we picked up, let's see, the rabbit food was $19.41 for that bag, and the smaller of the 2 bags, this is Tropican Lifetime Parrot Bulk is what it comes up as on the computer. A lot of us just refer to it as bubblegum pellets, and I've said this before in other videos, it smells like bubblegum. And again, I'm not going to taste it to find out if it tastes like it because I'm not a bird. But most of our medium-sized birds eat this. Our Indian ringneck cricket and our Senegal parrot bow do not like this. They're very finicky. So they tend to have their Supreme fruit pellets and something else to go with. The rest of our other birds, like our conures, our Quaker, our African gray parrot, they all eat those pellets, and they get their respective sizes of Supreme fruit pellets to go along with. But they like this. They don't mind it. The conures are a little bit fussy, but they're pretty good. They will eat this. That bag was $16.97, and then some cockatiel seed. Again, cockatiels and budgies should not have just a seed diet. They do get some Supreme fruit pellets too. They get the size of pellet that is suitable for their size of beak, but they do also get some seed. So it's mixed together with the Supreme. And the cockatiel seed was $14.48. I do like buying certain things at PetSmart because they have a points program there. Petland, to my knowledge, does not have a points program where you can redeem on products. However, we're able to get the bubblegum pellets for the birds and the rabbit pellets at Petland in bulk, whereas you can't, at least I haven't seen them in bulk at PetSmart. But when you at Petland, you do give them your phone number or swipe your card, and you do get you don't get points to redeem, but it does give you a bit of a discount on certain things. So after tax at Petland the other day, I spent $56.96. And that is everything for this grocery haul. It's been in multiple parts over the last 10 days or so, as per usual, which is the norm for most of my grocery hauls. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, leave a thumbs up, give it a comment, get down below if you enjoyed it, and make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already done so. That helps my channel grow a little bit. And thank you for those who have subscribed, whether recently or a long time ago. And yeah, make sure that you are subscribed and notification bell is turned on, because I don't have, with the crazy life schedule I keep with my work and everything else I'm involved in, I don't have a set posting schedule. I wish I did. So make sure, but I just don't. So just make sure your notification bell is turned on. So when I finally do get something uploaded, you will be the first to know. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. And if you did, make sure that you do leave a comment down below. And we'll see you in the next video, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Take care, and we'll talk to you in the next video.